I'm Laura Jones in New York. Tonight, Democrats' chances of holding on to power are looking more and more bleak as a record number of immigrants flood through our southern border. The Biden administration is still trying to convince us that they have this under control. On Thursday, DHS Secretary Mayorkas acknowledged the surge, but defended the administration handling of it. Watch.
We meet challenges. We meet difficult ones. We do so with our heroic workforce, our expertise, our plans, and our execution of our plans. Here again, just as we did with the challenge of unaccompanied children in March of this year, we have a plan, we are executing our plan, and that takes time.
So that's what the secretary said in public, but Fox News has obtained leaked audio of what the secretary is saying in private. And it paints a drastically different picture. Watch.
A couple of days ago, I was down in Mexico, and I said, look, if our border is the first line of defense, we're going to lose, and this is unsustainable. We can't continue like this. Our people in the field can't continue, and our system isn't built for it.
Okay, so he said, we're going to lose. This is not sustainable. He was talking about the border, but those words could be easily applied to every facet of the Biden administration. Crime is skyrocketing, so are gas prices and inflation. U.S. officials in Afghanistan are scrambling to leave as the Taliban takes back the country in lightning speed. You could call the Biden administration a comedy of errors, but nobody's really laughing. It would be great if the Biden administration would just be upfront with us, admit that they're failing. We're not as dumb as they think we are. Americans can see through their excuses for the multiple crises that Joe Biden has brought upon our country. A Fox News poll shows most Americans disapprove of Biden's performance on the economy, crime, and immigration. And if Biden doesn't turn things around soon, he won't be just losing the border, he'll be losing the country too. Joining me now, Stephen Miller, who's filing a lawsuit against the DHS today. He's the founder of America First Legal, and Lara Logan, host of Lara Logan Has No Agenda on Fox Nation. Lara, I want to go to you first, and Stephen, I'm going to get to you on the politics, but Lara, I want you to take me to the border. Tell me about the numbers. What's the current state? You've done a lot of reporting there. What are you hearing on the ground?
Well, what I'm hearing from everyone who's on the ground is that they're breaking records every single day. In 2 shifts in one station on the border in Starr County, it's called Rio Grande City, they had 1,107 people come across from midnight until 4 p.m. the next day. That was just one group over 2 shifts, Lawrence. And they've never seen anything like this. I mean, literally, you have everybody from law enforcement to border agencies to federal agencies saying that these are numbers they have never seen in their entire careers, spanning 10, 20, 30, 40 years. But one thing that I think is really important for people to understand is that all this does is define the border over and over and over again in terms of, human migration and the humanitarian aspect of this. It leaves national security and border security out of the equation. And that is exactly what the Biden administration wants, because the Biden administration can change all of this literally like that, with the snap of their fingers. Yeah. They change the policies and they can stop the flow. So what you know from that is that they're not defining the national security threat, they're not countering the national security threat, and they're not being honest about the national security threat. So what does that tell you? I mean, what they're doing is by design. This isn't a result of no action. Yeah. This is a result of the actions that they took. So it's the outcome they planned for, it's the outcome they've implemented, and it's the outcome that they're sustaining. And so the real question is, how does this benefit the Biden administration? Because they've obviously made a calculation that it does.
Yeah, because they ran on this, the media then pushed back, he got elected on this, and now they're starting to drop in the polls. So I got to ask you this, Stephen Miller, do they pivot? Because we see the only time that the Biden administration starts to have some type of pivot is when the polling comes in and they start to drop.
Tragically, I don't think they're going to change course on the border. And the reason for that is because the left is playing the long game on illegal immigration. Their view is that adding millions of illegal migrants to the country is going to push the politics of this country further left. And so for the sake of that goal, they are willing to drop in the polls to pay a price. This has been and remains their highest priority. Look, for example, at the budget reconciliation bill that they are planning on passing, the $3.5 trillion one we've heard so much about. They're planning on including amnesty in there. That means citizenship and voting rights for who? Illegal immigrants. So Republicans are going to have to make the case to midterm voters that the Democratic Party is putting the safety and security of you, your family, and the whole country in grave danger. I'll make one point on this that I think is very important. As bad as the situation is in Afghanistan, the deadliest foreign policy failure by far of this administration is the crisis on our southern border. The drugs, gangs, and crime will claim thousands of lives in America this year.
Yeah, it's so true. And people are dying as a result of those deadly drugs coming across, because it's synthetic drugs. It's going to kill people. Lara, I've talked to some of my sources on the ground from when I was on the border. The morale is low. What are you hearing from those border agents? I hear some are just walking off the job. They can't take it anymore.
Well, the border agents have never seen anything like this. And, obviously, they're completely and utterly overwhelmed. Yeah. But they know, because the planning started very early on last year after the election. So they know that this was put into place deliberately. And what they're starting to ask now is questions like, how does, the failure of the U.S. immigration system and the failure of the southern border, how does that benefit the Biden administration in terms of a broader strategy? And Stephen is right about playing the long game. It's the same thing when it comes to defunding the police. And, sadly, it's the same thing when it comes to the fentanyl, which is over 9,000 pounds this year already in this fiscal year, and it's not even done. And, last fiscal year was a record, and it was only 4,700 pounds. So, you're talking about exponentially increasing what is a national security threat. It costs this country billions of dollars because when you have whole communities that are overdosing and that are addicted, then they're not paying taxes, they're not going to work, they're not joining the military, they're not staying in school, their children are not growing up in stable homes, and there's all these knock-on effects. And let's not forget that the Mexican cartels are doing this,
That's exactly right.
with an open border. That is, they are the #1 beneficiaries of the Biden administration's open border. And they are also in a strategic partnership with the Chinese. So, the Biden administration, they know perfectly well what's going on here. And if they wanted to change it, they would and they could. The other part of this, Lawrence, is that why are they moving children from the border? Why are they moving them in the middle of the night? Why are they moving them under the cover of darkness? And if you look at the cities where they're going and you actually overlay that with COVID cases and where there are spikes in COVID cases, there are a number of people that are working on this that I have spoken to who say that there is significant correlation. So you're exporting COVID all over the country under cover of darkness in order to change the demographics of this country. And let's not forget the last point. Look at all the media headlines about the census over the last few days, which were all about, America's white population is down. The census confirms it. The future of America is diverse. Yeah, it sure is. You know that when you're making sure that it's as diverse as you want it to be.
Yeah. I'm just wondering where all the elected officials that were crying at the border about the kids' safety. I mean, they're packing these kids and parents in there like sardines, and no one says anything about it within the Democratic Party. No AOC, no squad, no Nancy Pelosi. I don't even know where Kamala Harris is. I mean, they keep giving her job after job, and she does absolutely nothing. If Republicans get back in power and do nothing, they don't deserve your vote. Thank you two so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.